Hi, all. Today, my guest is not my friend, but I have a feeling he soon will be. I met him with my friend Natalie when we were out checking out this music group in Hollywood, which I'm sure I will speak with Michael about. But it was a really fun night. They were doing a tribute to Tom Petty, and my friend Natalie got up to sing a song or two. And it was a lot of fun. And we met Michael Matteo Rossi, who's my guest. And he is a producer, director who's done a lot of films in a rather short amount of time, all independents. And I'm excited to learn about what these movies are all about. I don't know all of them, and I want to know his inspirations, his idols. And so please welcome Michael Matteo Rossi coming next. Welcome to my podcast where I'll be speaking with guests candidly about interesting topics. So join me on Candid with Kimbra. Hi, Michael Matteo Rossi. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. It's great to be here.
Now, what's the story? Why do you always have to say your middle name too? Is there a reason for that?
You know, um, Michael is obviously a very common name, and Rossi is a very common name, especially in Italy as well. So I've always liked my middle name. And I don't know, I feel like it just has a good thing, Michael Matteo Rossi, for both like love how it looks on the big screen or, when streaming, all of that. So I just have always used my full name with it instead of just Michael Rossi. I just like Michael Matteo Rossi. Yeah.
Yes, that sounds so European. I think in Italy
Yeah.
it would be would it be Michaela? No, that's for a woman, right? I can't remember how to pronounce Michael. I lived in Italy for a short,
Well,
traveled there a lot, and I can't remember how they.
yeah. And the interesting thing is that Matteo with one T is more of like the Latin name, but with the two T's, it's Italian, So there you go. I have the two T's.
Italiano. Um, so, gosh, I'm trying.
Yeah.
So, how we met, I was just telling my guests, excuse me, I was just telling my listeners before I got on that, mostly
Yeah.
my guests have been friends that through music or acting or filmmaking or whatever, and you're one of my first that I just met randomly out in Hollywood. The power of
Yeah.
networking,
It,
right?
it was. That's so interesting because, again, most people, especially nowadays, it's either referrals or through social media or through anything. And we met through in-person random thing. We're at the same kind of event that we were invited to. Is that Desert Five, right?
Yeah,
Or
Desert
Desert, is that
Five.
what it's
Yes.
called? Desert Five or something like that?
Thank you for remembering.
Desert Five
I
and
was
your
trying to remember
friend.
what the name of that place
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you were
And
there.
I was invited. Yeah, yeah. I was invited by my friend Todd Morris of Offspring, and he was playing there, and your friend was also singing there a bit too. And I was going down with my buddy who I invited, Bart, great actor, down the elevator, and we just started to talk, and then we kind of all connected that way. It was great.
Who knew? Talking organically. What? The power of
Old school,
right?
but I love it.
I know, because nowadays,
Yeah.
like you said, everything is done. It's a referral or through social media, or
Yeah.
even people when they date now, it's not organically. Usually, it's online.
All the dating apps, people don't meet in person for the first time anymore. Everything's off of that. And I mean, again, it's the time, it's technology, it's all of that. It can be good and bad. I
Right.
don't
It's
know,
true. It's
you know.
true. I know I kind of miss the days when everything was more, in person and organically, but
Yes,
I, I'm going
yes.
with it. um,
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it too. And I've met some great people through social media and through our technology as well.
yeah, and you're very active on social media because now I'm friends with you on Instagram, and I know some things about you. You were born in California, right?
Yes, born in LA. Born in LA, actually. Yeah.
Born in LA, all right. But you
Yeah.
went to school in San Diego, I think, right? What did you think about? Did you go to
Yeah,
University of
so
San
I went to no, I went to San Diego State actually.
Diego?
So lived there for 4 years from '05. Yeah, yeah. From '05 to '09, I lived there and then came back up to LA to continue pursuing film.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So growing up, did you always want to be, because on your IMDb it says you're more of a producer, but you're equally a director, or what would you call yourselves, or what call yourself?
So I would just say filmmaker. I produce in part all of the films that I direct and write as well. But like for me, in terms of those three, directing I love the most, followed by writing, followed by producing. Producing is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, but it's a necessary evil. So, but directing is definitely the number one thing. Even if I might have some more credits producing, directing is what I like the most.
Right, right. Yeah, of course. Everyone wants to be the director, right? It seems
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be.
yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah, so that's what I like the most.
oh, okay, great. Who were your idols growing up? Like, did you have? I think I saw some of your stuff, and I said it's very Tarantino-esque.
Tarantino is great, of course, but also Kubrick and
Mm-hmm.
Scorsese and a little bit of Hitchcock.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of old classic films growing up. My dad would show me a lot of them, even including old Twilight Zone TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved all of that. I loved all of that. I loved the suspense, the thrills, everything. Obviously, they don't make films like they used to, that's for sure.
Sure.
And so I just, I love that. And I grew up watching even a lot of those 80s and 90s action films and stuff like that. I grew up with those and I love them. I love them. I saw too many violent films when I was very young. I will say that kind of maybe gave me a warped perspective on things, but it was good. And these are the type of movies that I like to make now as well.
So, how would you classify your films? Are they action driven, suspense, horror, or all of the
Primar yeah, yeah, primarily kind of action thriller, suspense type films. Yeah, where and I've done across the board all types of genres, but I would say my last few are, yeah, action thriller type films. The one in post right now is a sci-fi action film, but primarily, yeah, yes, stylized action thrillers.
And is that the genre that you want to stay in, or do you want to do you want to move into something else? If you had, like, say, what is it? A24 said, "Hey, Michael, we want to give you, we want to give you, what, $15 million? I don't know. What would you make?"
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I would make I even love like that movie Drive
Oh,
uh
yeah, that's a
and
great
Good
movie.
Time, which I think are both, yeah, both A24 films. Don't quote me on that, but I think they are. But I love those type of films. Just really engaging kind of drama thrillers with some action. I would love it. Or even just an epic kind of gangster film or something. Goodfellas, Casino, those type of films I absolutely love. Might need more of a budget than that, but still, that's what I love doing. I'm not gonna, with putting a little bit of dark comedy in there as well. Yeah, you know.
That's great. What an interesting combination. Yeah, so I could see how well, Tarantino's kind of like, he's always got, that dark humor in there.
Yes, yes.
And then Scorsese, he's not really, I wouldn't classify any of his movies as although he made a comedy. What was that? The King of Comedy, right? The one
King
with,
of comedy, yeah, yeah, yeah. King of comedy. But no, I mean, I think, but even in Goodfellas, there are some small bits of kind of
that's true.
not dark comedy, but these characters that maybe aren't likable that much, but you still kind of want to know what's going on with them. And that's a lot of the stuff, I'll give a little plug. This
The
my
Killers.
most recent film, you know, Charisma Killers,
Oh,
yes, that
Charisma
I
Killers.
think is
Sorry, I
my
couldn't see.
best film that I've done. All Charisma Killers, yeah. All of the characters, they're kind of anti-heroes, they're not your totally good Superman type hero, but you still kind of want to follow them and follow them on their journey and you kind of still care enough to see what's going to happen with them.
Yeah. So what if you give me your elevator pitch on Charisma Killers? What's how would you sell your film?
So it's about seven killers and they all kill in unique ways and they're kind of like a family. They're like brothers and sisters and there is their old mentor, former detective turned bad. He finds out he has terminal cancer and he basically gives them all the opportunity to his fortune to
Mm-hmm.
basically wipe out all of these corrupt cops. So for
Mm-hmm.
one night only, they all, with their own unique ways of killing people, have to kill the most, and whoever kills the most wins his money.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
twisted. Pretty twisted.
why do you think this is your best movie ever?
Um, I think that the mix of the cast, the acting, how it was shot, how it looks, how it sounds, everything, and including the story, I think it's my most complete film. Our first cut of it was 2 hours and 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and we shaved 40 minutes of it down, so it's about an hour 40 now. And it is tight. We kept it tight, we kept it moving. I don't feel it drags. And I feel really, really good about it. I am very, very proud of the film.
Was that actor that we when I met you that night in the elevator, was he in the film too? Remember you were with somebody?
No, so Bart wasn't in this film. I didn't know Bart when I shot this film. Bart is one of the lead villains in the film that's in post right now, the sci-fi action one,
Oh,
Censor Addiction. And Bart is great. Bart is great. So he wasn't in this one, but he was in the one that's gonna be coming out hopefully next year or releasing next year.
okay. Do you like to work with the same actors if I mean for the most part, or do you have different casts every time?
So it's a mix. It's a mixed bag. There are definitely some people that I kind of consider my actor muses that
Mm-hmm.
I like working with again and again. And then of course, like I'll get some fresh blood in there and I'll get some fresh people. I know I'm like showing this a lot, but Marnette, who's right front and center, she
Yeah.
was also the lead female in Censor Addiction as well, and she's a wonderful person, but she's also an amazing actress. So you like to work with a lot of the same people that you know are talented, get along with on set. It makes sense, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I usually work with the same group of people a lot. So because you want to be able to get along. Half the thing is showing up, and also, do you get along? Do you work well? Right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, and people you can trust, people
That's
that
true.
you know are like you said are gonna show up, are gonna know their lines, know their spots. We talk about the characters, people that you can rely on. I mean, especially in LA. It's a rare thing. A rare thing sometimes you feel like people you can rely on.
Right?
But
That
yeah,
aren't gonna flake on you, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
So,
So yeah, no, again, I would say a mixed bag of people, some new and some that I like to work with again and again.
so Michael, how do you get your financing? I mean, do you go to different people? Because I'm assuming these are all self-financed movies, or do you have a group of financiers that you work with, or do you want to even divulge that information?
Uh, yeah. I mean, that's the $1 million question, right? That's every indie filmmaker's Achilles heel, like getting the right budget or the
Sure.
right money for it. When I was starting out, I would fund a lot of mine myself, and
Hmm.
just save up, put it out there the whole bit.
Mm,
And then as I kept going, there would be these individuals that I'd either refer to or know or meet on social media or anything and we'd work out, they'd want to put in. They believed in me. They believed in the script. They believed in the stuff that I do. And then, have done that. I've never, and not to diminish this, I know it's worked for some people. I've never done the crowdfunding thing for a
Mm,
film. I've never done any of the Indiegogo and all of that. I know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I've never done that. It's just a few people, and any extra stuff, obviously, I'll put in a little bit of my own. You make some money off a film and then you put it into the next one, and you keep that cycle going. So that's kind of the short or long answer to that. So
oh, that's
it is it's people that I'm either referred to, that have seen my previous work, that want to be a part of it and want to see me succeed as well, and the film succeed, which I'm very grateful for.
now. Do you write your own scripts, or do you co-write, or?
No, I write my own scripts, and I love to direct every script that I write. Not to say that I'm not opposed to directing other people's scripts too, if it really if I believe in it, or it really like kind of it
Hits you
just
if it
is
hits
my style.
right.
Exactly. If it speaks to me, I was saying yes. So I'm not opposed to that. But yes, I write like charisma. I wrote all of the features that I have out. I have written as well.
Okay, okay. And so where can people see your movies? That's is it is can you do you how do you get them distributed basically?
Yeah, yeah. So all of them are available for streaming or on streaming, like video on demand. Like I'd say that Amazon Prime is one that it's always on. If you go on Amazon Prime, most people have Amazon.
Hmm.
Um, my film Chase is on Peacock. A bunch of them are on Tubi as well, and like Vudu, Fandango, like all that. And a few, obviously, you can buy the physical DVDs. If I'm old school like that, I love the physical DVDs. Some of my films don't have it, but I personally like them.
Right.
So I would say Amazon Prime is a safe bet. Just search the title, it'll pop up, and it'll be able to either buy or rent them if you want. Or some are already, you can just stream them if
Okay.
you're, yeah.
And to date, you think The Charisma Killers is your best movie?
I think that one and film Shadows, my film Shadows that came out, it was released in 2022. So Charisma Killers and Shadows, I think, are my two best films that are
Hmm.
released. I can't say yet about Censor Addiction yet, because it's still getting edited. It looks
Hmm.
damn good so far, but because I haven't seen the color, the sound, the music yet, anything, I don't know where that's going to place in terms of it. But this Charisma Killers, I really, there are a couple critic reviews of it where one person said it was the best indie action film of 2024, which like was a huge compliment, of course. So I've and a few saying that they also agreed this is my best work that they've seen.
Well, that's good. So the
Yeah.
movie that's in post, what's it called again? The one that you're
Censor Addiction.
Spencer Addiction.
Yes, Censor Addiction.
Is
Censor
Spencer a person?
Addiction. Yeah.
Is Spencer a person?
Oh, no, no, no. Censor, like
Oh, Sensor
censorship,
Addiction. Okay, sorry.
censorship,
Got it, got it. Sensor Addiction.
censor addiction. Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure. Censor addiction. Yeah, yeah. So I wrote that a few years ago, and I wrote it just even based on a lot of stuff that we've gone through as a country, as a state, as all of that. Not getting too political, but just the whole stuff with the pandemic, the whole stuff with everything going on, the whole stuff with, you know, government and companies and all of that stuff. So that was, and it takes place in the near future, and it's good to just be open-minded and to always just not blindly follow
Sure,
anybody.
sure.
Learn and acquire information and knowledge.
Do your research, people. Right?
Do your research. That's what I always try to say. Do your research. Do not blindly follow one media site or one social media person. think for yourself. Be a free thinker. Think for yourself and take a step back, check your own biases on stuff, and really try to get information from all sides and then make a judgment yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've been really trying to do that because everybody is surrounded, we're all usually surrounded in our little bubble of, people that
Yes.
think just like you, right? And
Yep.
so recently with the election, I went
Yeah.
on a couple different podcasts, listening to podcasts that they had some people on there without naming any names that I normally wouldn't listen to, right? And so I thought, well, I'm gonna listen to this because I can't just keep, like you said, reading my own, what tuning into the own station, the same stations all the time, listening to the same thing. So I said I listened to two podcasts with these two different people the whole way through with, and I was like, I've got to start doing that more because, we're always surrounded, especially living on the West Coast, we're surrounded
Yeah.
by our little bubble.
We're surrounded by our bubble and a lot of these things. And I used to years ago just kind of blindly follow just one thing and follow what what they're saying. And I said, you know what? Some of this isn't adding up. Let me just, it's good to be informed, whatever it is. You see with social media, I actually don't post like anything really political. I love just talking about my film, everything like
Sure,
that.
sure.
People are adults. They can make their own decisions on things, but just stay informed. Stay informed. That's it. Stay informed. Do your research. See all sides of things, and then make a judgment call. But that's at least what I think.
Yeah, I know, and it's really hard because I have a lot of friends that really, I mean, and this happens on both sides, right? But my friends that are very liberal, they will not, the minute you say, I'm gonna listen to this or watch this, they get their, the hairs up on the back of their head. They won't even.
People get Yeah, yeah. People get entrenched in their own side, and I think that, you have your maybe 10% of the hard left, 10% of the hard right, and then you have kind of 70 to 80% of people that maybe lean one way or the other in the middle, where they can have a conversation. You can talk, you can say, okay, maybe we'll find some middle ground here. I don't agree with you on this, but maybe that. And
Sure.
you can find that. Some people, you're just with anything, with film, with all that, you are not going to change their mind. You are not going to, anything,
It's
and
like talking to
they
a
are
brick
in
wall.
there. And well, yeah, and if so, if they know you're on the other side, I'm gonna unfriend you, I'm gonna block you, I'm gonna do that, vice
Right.
versa. There's a thumb, you can't, which is fine. That's their choice. That's fine. But I think that the majority of people are willing to listen, and all of that. So, I mean, but yeah, you're right. I mean, with everything, with the election, with the divisiveness, with all of that, like. I really, maybe it's the optimist in me. I see that the majority of people are willing to at least try to find some middle ground and try to see, okay, maybe we can still be friends. We disagree on some stuff. We can still be friends versus some people that, nope, no, if you support this person, I'm not gonna be friends with you, which is fine. That's their choice.
Yeah,
Choice,
I know.
freedom of choice.
I know that's why we live in America. But but it's hard because
Right,
I
right,
want
right.
I want us to get back to where we were sort of, that if you wouldn't bring up the one side, the other side's like, no. you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, and just all that, and it's just like, look, life is short. Let's enjoy what we can do. Let's not be perpetually miserable throughout everything. And that's why it's just no, I mean, it's therapeutic for me to make films and to just be around, just good people and just energy, because negative and toxic energy is draining. It's draining. It wears on you, and
Sure.
and you don't need that. You don't need that. Life is stressful enough. Like
Mhm.
we don't need that added stuff there,
Yes, definitely
you
true.
know.
So tell us the name of the one you're in post again. Censorship. What?
No, no, yeah. Censor addiction.
Oh, sorry, censor
Censor.
addiction.
No
Addiction.
problem. No problem. I know.
Well, it's because the audio,
Kind of unique thing.
your audio's a little bit, it's kind of a
Delayed,
delayed. That's the word I was thinking of. Yeah, so that's why it was hard for me to hear it. But censor addiction.
addiction.
Right.
Yep, censor addiction. And again, kind of subtly talking about, near future censorship, government over, too much of the big government, too much, hey, listen to what we have to say and just blindly follow. And could that be something that in the future, if more people just follow blindly and just dealing with power, greed, corruption, all of that type of stuff. So those are a lot of themes in it.
Well, it sounds good. I like that kind of stuff. That movie sounds really good. So I'm anxious to see it. Now, so everybody can find your movies streaming somewhere, and then you have a website, obviously, right? Somewhere. Or do you have a website?
Yeah, well, I use my kind of IMDb as like my like kind of go-to where people can just see what I've done, but
Right.
also again on social media. If you just look up Michael Matteo Rossi, you see I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Threads, not on TikTok. So I'm on most of the major ones, and I post, as you saw, pretty regularly. I'm pretty, responsive if somebody messages me or, all that. So yeah,
I hear a
yeah.
truck. I hear a truck or something on yours. Is that coming from you behind? Oh, you know
No,
what? Maybe it's my
but
my neighbor is cutting
yeah,
her tree
it's like
down.
super quiet here. Oh,
That's so
no
funny.
worries. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
It's
neighbor.
super quiet here.
What was I going to tell you?
No worries.
There was something I was going to say. Your friend
Yeah.
that you saw perform in Hollywood from the group, do you see him a lot?
Yes.
What's his name again? The singer that we saw?
Yeah, Bart. Bart.
Yeah. Do you
Bart.
go see him a lot?
Yeah, yeah, he's great. He lives in the valley and like he's a really good dude. And we talk about a whole lot of stuff. Like I invite him to events and everything. And he's a big rocker type person too. So I knew with this type of thing, I could bring a few people, and he was one of them that I brought. And we had a
Oh.
great time. He's he's a good dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. Your name of your production company, Italian Cowboy, right? Isn't that what it is?
Italian Cowboy Productions.
Yeah.
Italian Cowboy
What
Productions,
made you? How'd you get that name?
very, very, very long time ago, long story, stuff with senior year of high school, freshman year of college. It kind of just popped up, and I've been using it ever since. I've been using it since like 2005 or six. Yeah, yeah. It's just a kind of inside joke from way back when, and it kind of manifested into my production company. So, I mean, it's cool. It's
Yeah,
cool,
I like. Well, it's easy to remember. I didn't forget it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kind
Well,
of, kind of like Italian cowboys, spaghetti westerns back in the day, like the '60s, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and
yeah,
all that.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, when your
yeah,
other
it's
movie,
cool.
Censor Addiction, comes out, you'll have to come back on because I'm sorry I have to cut it a little
Yeah,
short. But after the new year, I'll be doing more.
yeah.
So maybe you can come back on again, right?
I would love to. It would be my pleasure. I would love that.
Good. Yeah. I'm glad that we met organically and not through
Yes,
social media.
yes. So
And
rare.
yeah, and my friend Natalie and I, we will be going out. One of us will be singing. We both sing, so we'll invite you.
Hey, please invite me. I'll bring some of my friends to
Yeah.
support. You guys are great. You're great. And no, and again, the last thing, life is about energy. And when when I meet somebody that has good energy or we can kind of match energy, those are the people that I like to surround myself with. You and Natalie were awesome and just really good energy. And that's why we connected. And it's great. And look at us now doing
Yeah,
this.
here we are.
Here we are. It's good. I use my hands a lot,
I
obviously,
know,
right?
because he's Italian.
Exactly. So it's
Anyways,
good.
thank you so much, Michael. And this will come out in a couple weeks or so. So I'll keep you posted about everything. And thank you again for coming on. And I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.
Perfect. Thank you.